Righto, righto. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone see me? How are all of you wonderful, amazing people doing this fine, fine day? Excuse me. So, real quick, just hey, Dragonis, first again. Yes, you are. You are the man. You're the king. You are the new leader of the Vilkafendica. Well done, my lad. Well done. All right. So, real quick, I uninstalled the game and reinstalled it on SSD. So hopefully that makes a world of difference. I know a lot. I said I couldn't fit it potentially on my SSD. I spent, I want to say, a good hour and a half to 2 hours yesterday cleaning up my SSD, finding anything that was a non-necessity on the damn thing, and deleting it, or moving it to one of my hard drives. Successfully, I was able to free up just enough space for the game, plus a gig. So my C drive now has only a gig of space. So I gotta see if there's even more I can trim down. But yeah, I was able to fit the game on my SSD. Hopefully that results in a new cleaned up, smooth gaming experience from yesterday's performance issues. Fingers crossed. I haven't tested it yet because I don't want to continue and accidentally progress the campaign. So that test effectively will be live. Dark Resurrect, welcome to the stream. Shadow Fox, welcome. Okay. Howdy, Asmo. What happened yesterday? Saw you said you didn't have as much fun as you should have. Well, I said it at the... I'll do it faster this time because I know I spieled about it a lot last time. Short answer, yesterday, there was, I won't say massive. Compared to a lot of other games' launches, it was nowhere near as bad. Like, Cyberpunk's was way worse. Dark Tides was infinitely worse. Like, this is nowhere near a terrible launch. It only crashed once, and that's because of the cinematic that was playing. It had some issue running it, the opening cinematic. Haven't had a problem since then, other than the audio in a lot of the in-game cutscenes. Starts late or started early from the actual animations happening. So the lip sync was completely off. That was annoying. Those technical issues were annoying. But what really affected my enjoyment was in the gameplay. Whenever I got hit by a horde, the frame rate went from solid 60 FPS and plummeted to about 24 or 25 FPS. And that's still not the worst it could be. I could still make out what was happening, but my reaction time was severely impacted. Because you want good reaction time when you need to parry or dodge those red blows. And because of the frame rate dropping so much, I didn't have enough I didn't react in time a lot of it. Some of it was just because I actually sucked at it, but that was an issue. So, yeah, yesterday I had some pretty bad performance issues. To try and fix that, I uninstalled the game, deleted a ton of shit from my SSD, which is where my operating system is installed. It's my C drive. I deleted a bunch of shit. I uninstalled a bunch of non-necessity applications. I moved a bunch of files to either my E drive or my D drive, which are both hard drives, or HDDs. And I made just enough space for this game. Like, in my solid-state drive, I have 1 gig left of space. So if they release, like, a big update patch, I'm gonna have to find even more shit to delete out of my C drive to continue to fit this game. Hopefully they don't do that anytime soon. Fingers crossed. But, yeah. So today we're all gonna find out if that was enough to clean up all the issues I had yesterday. The only other solution I can think of past that is lower the graphics settings, which I'm trying not to do because I want it to look good while I play. So, yeah. Oh, more impact on loading? Okay, well, we're gonna find out how much that does. Okay, here we go. Fingers crossed we cleaned up all the problems. Yeah, if it being on the solid state doesn't work, and lowering the graphics doesn't work, then I will have to uninstall the game and call it good. I won't be able to play it. if that is the circumstance. So I will warn about that to everybody, is if I can't get it to run smoothly today, it won't be tenable for me to keep playing. So I'll have to wish everybody else who's not having any issues a great time with the game. Hope you guys continue to enjoy it. Oh, crap, that's right. We're jumping right back into this shit. Okay, hold on. Alright, gimme.
They will not get past this.
Alright, here we go.
Here come the winged vermin. Protect the antenna. Cover it.
Alright, give me even more.
Supply.
Even more. Thank you. Fuck you. Alright, so far so good. So far we're doing pretty smooth. Alright. Boom.
The enemy are going for the antenna! Eliminate them!
Fuck you. Alright, frame rate is dipping. Not. I think I'm at 30 right now. If I can keep it no lower than this, I think I can work with it.
The enemy have damaged the antenna!
Fuck you! Die! Thank you!
Another one dead.
Okay. Okay, I need to reload. Ammo, 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 ammo. Fuck out of my way, you little shit. Alright. Ammo!
Mission secured. Loading up. They never learn.
Fuck! Dodge!
Reloading.
Okay, kill it, kill it, kill it. Go the fuck down, go the fuck down. Fuck! God damn it. Brother! Brother, I am pinned here. Help me! Oh, hello. Alright. Crap. Yes, okay. Got you, you little shit. Come here, come here. Time to die! Oh, God, I hate those things. Okay, 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 ammo, 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 ammo. Gimme, 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 gimme. Okay. Reload! Okay. Frame rate issue definitely cleared up from earlier. Vámonos.
The guns are ready!
Gotcha. Thank you, madame. Ooh.
Target's locked. Let us relish the sight
Listen
of
for the
those
marksman
vile
to the
ships
stock. What?
burning.
Hey, how's it going? What are your opinions on GW spin the Femme Custodians as Malcador's side project behind Biggie? Did they do that? Did they really do that? Or is that like a theory? Is that like a fan theory? Did GW really pull that? Please tell me they didn't actually do that. Okay, the SSD is definitely helping a little bit. It didn't completely clean up the frame rate issue, but it wasn't as bad as it was, so... Fucking spider got on one of my water bottles. More like my theory if they have... Oh, okay, whew, for a second there. My guy, don't give me that heart attack. Whew. It's like, really? For a second there, I was like, damn, they are determined on this front, aren't they? I think the guy plasma gun is pretty neat in damage. I haven't played the co-op yet, so I haven't had the opportunity to try out the different classes. I've just been playing story stuff.
Lieutenant, Captain Akaran has new orders for you.
Very well. Where is Ilian?
The enemy tried to smother us. We got separated. By the time we had slain the attackers, Ilian was dead. Something put a hole clean through his helmet.
I should have been with you.
I only wish he had lived to see that hive ship burn.
Yeah, I figured I got it later in the campaign. 1 second. There is like some small ways I want to see if I can also clean up, like little ways that'll still like let the game look good. Alright, texture filtering. Don't really care about that. Texture resolution. Shadows? Nah. Actually, if anything, that almost looks better low. We'll just go medium, see if I can help it with that. And gotcha. Alright, let's see if that will clean it up.
Could not have been defeated by Hormigans.
There are creatures more deadly than Hormigons down there.
You should not have let our squad be divided.
What's this? Ah, Battleman.
He is gone, Sergeant. Duty is all.
I do not forget my
Oh,
brothers
okay,
so
okay, here we are. So, operations. So this is the co-op. Campaign, Eternal War. PvP. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we know how to switch modes. That's good. Stick with the campaigns for now. Alright, someone, yesterday Caboose told me I have the ability to change, it's one of the newer dreadnoughts. I miss my box dreads. Show me an ironclad, please. An ironclad. And not the new ones. Please bring back my boxies. I love them to death. Alright, someone told me I'm be able to change my armor after the first mission. We just finished the first mission, so I'd like to change my armor, please.
Lord Calgar. Did you fight with him on Vigilus? I've read through those battle reports more than 100 times. A masterful defense.
My duty kept me busy elsewhere.
You have an unusual service record.
That is my good fortune.
I want a scout recon of that position.
Captain,
Get over here.
Captain, I have the Mechanicus on Vox.
They can wait. This is Nozick Beta 12, the Mechanicus Archmagos. He should have been aboard this ship an hour ago, but he refuses to leave Kadaku without some data from his lab. He's currently in this Imperial Guard base. His facility is here. The enemy is closing in. That base will be overrun imminently. Nozick is a high-value asset. Get that data and get him out.
the mining facility. If we rupture the staging tanks, direct the flow into the valley, we can ignite the fields around the base.
Boil them in promethium. I'll give you command of a small team to hit
I
the
mean,
staging tanks. 3 men.
When bug
That's all I
spray
can
doesn't
spare.
work,
Brief them immediately.
try fire. Blowtorch. Actually, the sad thing is, in real life, a friend of mine, he's a bit of a dumbass sometimes. But the sad thing is, this worked.
Make ready to depart.
Standing by.
He had like a huge like hornet's nest by his house, and he tried spraying it with like raid one day, and they swarmed him. Obviously, he ran away, only got stung a little bit, but he noticed that they rebuilt a new one, and the
Lieutenant Titus.
We are told you have need of us, brother.
okay, one second. I just don't want to interrupt what they're saying because I do want to pay attention to it, but he noticed that they moved it to like a one of like the metal parts of like his door, like not his door frame, but somewhere around his door. And he decided, okay, I'm gonna like try and wet the area around it so my house doesn't catch fire, because you know he wants to be safe and all, right? So he grabs the same can of raid, gets a lighter, and turns it into an impromptu flamethrower. It killed the hornet's nest. It also did catch part of his roof on fire. Now, to his credit, he was able to get the worst of the flames out with the fire extinguisher, but that was one of the dumbest things he's done in a long time. Did he achieve his objective? Yes. Did it come at a price that I consider not worth it? Also, yes.
My squad must recover data from a Mechanicus research facility in Sector 41A. A large enemy swarm threatens to overrun both that facility and an Imperial Guard base to its east. You will sabotage a Promethium refinery to delay their advance.
We will not fail you, Lieutenant.
Let us burn the Xenos filth.
Time is short. I will brief you on descent.
Brother, Magos Gallio wishes to see you in the armory.
Noted.
Ooh, is this where I can finally change my armor? This is the armoring hall. Magos, make me sexy, and make me any other color than blue.
You requested my presence.
How are you acclimating to your new status?
I have no complaints.
Intriguing. Predictions would determine a 0.9 probability that you would.
I have pressing duties, Magos.
Very well. Engage the armory terminal. I will see that you are suitably equipped for your mission.
Is he allergic to them? I don't believe so. I think he just really hates hornets. Or anything that stings.
Indicate your desired war gear, and the armoring station will handle the outfitting procedure, though much has changed since we last met. All this will remain familiar to you.
Okay.
The Omnisire blessed us with clear-sightedness from the beginning. We offer blessings to this machine, that it may serve you just as it serves him.
Meltera. Tempting. That's locked, of course. I would say they did very good work on the modeling and texturing. That's nice. And I lowered the texture quality like just a little while ago, but it still looks really good. Auto bow rifle, melta rifle, Oculus bolt carbine. Bolt carbine. So I don't get to load out with the grenade launcher automatically. Okay. No idea about the U.S., but here hornets are rather shy unless they nest above your door. Here they tend to leave you alone. Tend to, if you don't interact with the hive in any way. But they almost always, for some reason, around my area anyway, make a hive around a doorway. I don't know what the hive logic is for that. But it's not a good idea. Standard issue plasma pistol, heavy bolt pistol. I'm gonna try out the plasma pistol. And chainsword, combat knife, thunderhammer, power sword. Oh, I want a power sword. ASA fucking P. Okay. Appearance. This is what's important. Okay. Can I change my appearance more than that? No? No? Okay. Well, that's disappointing. Someone made it out to be that I could change the colors. Ah! I'm stuck in the blue. I guess it's like an after-campaign thing.
The war gear selection seems...
I was lied to!
This armory is comprehensive.
Full appearance changes in co-op. Yeah, I figured.
For the current mission,
Hey, the Finn, welcome to stream. To be fair, 100 years of no sign of corruption is a long time. It is. Not in Space Marine time, but in human time, yes. Well, then again, surviving for 100 years, even for Space Marines, is pretty good. Most Marines don't live that long. The survival rate of a Marine after all the surgeries and everything is much higher than the standard Guardsman, but standard Guardsman survival rate when they're on arrival of their first battle is typically like what, 5% or less.
Brother Titus, you leave on a mission of vital importance.
Hello, champion.
The battlefield below leaves no room for the slightest error of judgment.
I am of clear mind and purpose.
May the directives of our beloved Primarch guide your every action. I shall follow your progress closely.
Full appearance change in co-op. Is
I
it
will
co-op?
reflect on your
Yeah, I
words,
get you.
Chaplain.
I'm currently running around as a Blood Angel Heavy. Damn you! I'm still stuck in this ugly ass blue. That is unsustainable. Humanity losing bad. Well, that's the whole idea with 40k, right? Here's another lore tidbit for those who want to hear more. That's the point of 40k. Like, if you're brand new to 40k and you don't quite get the universe, it's a grimdark universe. Well, it's supposed to be. It hasn't really been since 8th edition. They've steadily taken it out of its grimdark core. But for the longest time, from the 1980s, 1981, I think specifically, from 1980s to, I want to say, 2010, 2011, a little bit further than that, 2014, we'll say. James Workshop and Black Library maintained a steady grimdark setting. That was the whole point of it. And what is a grimdark? Well, a grimdark setting it's a hopeless setting. It's a setting where everything is fucked. To be quite frank, like literally everything is fucked. You have no chance of survival. You have no chance of winning at the end of the day permanently. There's no peace over the horizon. A good example of a grimdark story that's more self-contained than something as expansive as 40k is if you've seen the cartoon movie that's really depressing, Plague Dogs, or you've seen, probably more commonly people have seen, The Thing, 1982's The Thing, with John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing. That is a grimdark story. What makes it grimdark is it's a hopeless scenario where they're desperately trying to beat this thing. They're all picked off one by one. There's lack of trust going all around, and no matter what they do, the scenario is all screwed up. And by the very end, they realize that they're not going to survive. The only chance they have is maybe killing this thing before they all die, or to screw it up. Or this thing is going to kill humanity. And at the very end, after everyone has died or disappeared, and then McCready is sitting there, is in the cold. Once those fires from the explosion go out, he's going to freeze to death. He knows he's going to die. Then you see Mac come over, after he's been off screen for a while, and he sits down, and neither of them have any idea if the other is the thing. And the movie fades to black on that point where the two of them are sitting there drinking booze, and it leaves off on the note of, okay, if neither of them are the thing, they still both die. Our protagonists die, and like there's no survivors. There's no happy ending for anybody except the rest of humanity. And even then, if this thing exists, what's the chance of another one of these things coming to Earth and completely destroying everything later? And the other end of the note is, okay, one of them is the thing and will kill the other, and that thing survived. And now it has a chance to spread to the rest of the world. Maybe not this decade, maybe not this century, but it will eventually spread, and all of humanity will be wiped out and replaced by these things. That both scenarios have a hopeless, dark ending. That is what makes John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing a grim, dark story. There's no happy ending. Yeah, they might have beat it for now, but we don't know. And as far as the future looks, it's fairly bleak given the options. So the Plague Dog example, I'm not going to go into that one because like that one will take even longer to explain. But that's kind of the idea of the setting of 40K is it's fucked. Like over the horizon, there's no hope for survival. There's no hope for winning. Humanity is screwed. Like via a combination of religious dogma and overbearing authoritarian regimes and governments across, and keep in mind, not fascist, but very authoritarian regimes across all of the Imperium. Just to survive in this galaxy surrounded by enemies on all sides, you got the Orcs, you got the Eldar, you got the Jakari, you got the Tyranids, you got the Necrons, you got Chaos in all its forms, and how that can crop up anywhere. It's not even like you have to worry about a front line or a border necessarily with that. It is a fucked scenario. And just to survive, humanity has to make entire planets into basically a slave population forced to labor in manufactorums and these horrific scenarios just so they can maintain the front line of war that much longer. And just so they can fight back the darkness. Pretty much everything humanity does in this grimdark universe and constantly engages in war, everything they do is just so the light of humanity doesn't go out that much faster. That's Warhammer 40,000. That's what it has been. That's what it's supposed to be traditionally. It's a story where at the end of the story, we don't win. We don't live happily ever after. There is no peace. There is no, light at the end of the tunnel. We will lose. There will be individual victories. There will be moments of success. There will be moments of champions triumphing over great challenges. But in the long run, no matter what we do, it's only delaying the inevitable. That's what makes it grimdark. And that's what has always been fun about 40K, is it's this overbearing, over-the-top dark setting where we're fucked. But rather than lay down, take it, and die out as a mongrel race, we still fight tooth and nail to survive. We push back against the darkness, spit in its face. We know it'll consume us. We know it'll destroy us someday. But we say, fuck you, and we fight back with everything we got, so we get one more day. We get one more month. We get one more year. That is the charm of 40K. That is the beauty of the Imperium, despite all its horror, despite all its disgusting, evil natures, its politicking with the Inquisition and the Administratum, despite all the lives that are thrown countlessly at every single aspect of threat that they face. Millions of guardsmen die in every battlefield every few seconds, and countless billions are born to just replace them either on the front line or in the manufactorums to fuel the Imperium's war machine. It is a beautifully horrific setting, and that's what's awesome. That's what's so fucking awesome. That is what 40K has been traditionally. Now, like I said earlier, like a few minutes ago, it hasn't been that for the last couple of editions, and it's clear GW are cleaning up the setting because they're trying to go more mainstream. And this game is going to really push it into the mainstream a lot more. 40K effectively already went mainstream as far as I'm concerned a while back. But it's really starting to hit the limelight with this game, and when it eventually comes out, the Amazon shows, when it gets featured in stuff like that, this universe will be mainstream. And with that, the desire from Games Workshop to maximize sales and to do all the financial guru stuff, they're going to try and take all the grimdark elements out. And they pretty much already did that with Primaris, which are the Marines we're playing in this game. For those, again, who are not familiar with the lore, Primaris are a new type of Space Marine. Way back when we just had standard Space Marines, then you had like Terminators, and then you had like Dreadnoughts, and then you had like Grey Knights and stuff. Like, there were still super Space Marines, so to speak. But with the introduction of Primaris, which are an even more genetically enhanced and empowered version, it's literally making a super Space Marine. Now, GW financially did that because they wanted to copyright the name, and they also wanted to like revamp the line. They could have just revamped the line of miniatures just by making them true scale Marines, but they decided to invent a brand new thing into the lore to justify the purchase of them, and to also continue selling the old kits, which they've now discontinued. A lot of Firstborn kits are no longer being manufactured, so that's why if you ever look for them, like Firstborn, tactical Marines and stuff, they're going to probably be a lot more expensive. Well, the tactical squads won't be. I think they're still making those. There's still a few that they're making, but for the mass majority, or a great chunk of the original Space Marine designs, they've completely discontinued. And they only did that, like, I want to say a year ago now? A year ago, 7 to 8 months ago, something like that. It's a real shame, that they, and then also alongside ripping the Grimdark out of 40k, they also brought back one of the Primarchs, which before Gilliman came back, the Primarchs were more or less just demigods that were mythological. Like, we knew they existed, don't get me wrong. It's not like they were just myth. They were known to exist, but they weren't ever supposed to be, well, keep in mind, lore-wise, how they were saying. Yeah, 2 Primarchs now. I know. I'm saying, but with Gilliman being brought back specifically, he set the tone for later on. We're going to get more Primarchs coming back. And yes, we got Lionel Johnson. He is the Primarch of the Dark Angels. He's back as well. There's, at this point, the community is still theorizing who the next one is. I personally don't care, because I don't really care for much of 40k's newer lore. I don't respect a lot of it. Again, most of it at this point has been reshaped to be less grimdark, more mainstream appeal, as they believe it to be. They're trying to hit the mythical wider audience, and they're really killing what made 40k in many ways, which is disappointing. It's sad, and they seem determined to do it. So for me, I don't really care for any of the new stuff. I stick with all the lore pre 8th edition, pre 7th in most cases, but pre 8th edition. Don't get me wrong, if people ask me, like, I will acknowledge the existence of Primaris in the current lore, but or Gilliman or Lionel Johnson or any of that, I just don't like it at all. True Scale would have worked as well. True Scale would have been preferable. It wouldn't have just worked. It would have been preferable. It wouldn't have caused any controversy if GW were like, oh, hey, yeah, we had those old sculpts that, we really didn't like their design. They didn't look great. So we're just like making them slightly bigger and more proportioned lore-wise. That would have done amazing. That would have done fantastic. And the only people who would have complained are a couple of the guys who were like, had been there since 2nd edition and were obsessed with the ones they had, right? And they didn't want to, but like, that's it. Like, the vast majority of the community, though, would have been like, yeah, fuck yeah, True Scale. Yeah, we've always wanted these, like, the proportions cleaned up, and so some people would have like shelved their whole armies, not sold them, but shelved them as collectibles, and then be like, okay, but I'm gonna buy a whole brand new set of these True Scales because now I want my army to look more better proportioned. It's brand new painting projects, all that. But sadly, they instead decided to invent super Space Marines. And again, from there, started really killing off the grimdark identity of 40k. And it's only been downhill from that sense. I would predict the setting is going to lose most of its grimdark setting within the next 10 years. 5 to be honest, but I'll be generous and say 10 years. I won't say they're gonna they're gonna try and keep Grimdark on an aesthetic level. Like they're gonna make things look rusted, beat up. There's gonna be blood and gore. They're gonna keep those aspects, but they're going to. Hey, Yue, welcome to stream. Also, I don't know if I said welcome to Roberto, but we're welcome Roberto as well. But welcome everybody who's dropping in. But I'd say GW are going to sift out the Grimdark identity in terms of its true Grimdarks. I'd say within 5 to 10 years. Like the stories and books we have, I don't think they're going to stop selling or reprinting. They're going to do that, but they're not going to make any new stuff that's truly Grimdark. Their priorities have definitely shifted substantially. So yeah, that's the sad thing with 40K as a whole. That being said, that's outside this video game. So far, this game has been pretty true to the lore. It's, I've mentioned a few things that bother me, like Titus being able to go back to the Space Marines just because he had the Rubicon surgery to become a Primaris. That pissed me off. Still kind of does. I've been stewing over it overnight, and it didn't soften on me. Again, I won't say it's not possible, but I certainly would say it's not possible without a fight from the Ordo Xenos of the Inquisition and Deathwatch itself. Allowing one of their members to be taken by the original chapter back, even though he was a Black Shield and he made a vow of life and even completely cut off all relation to his home chapter by covering one pauldron black and chaining it. That's no small gesture. So, and like I said, I'll call it the Jon Snow excuse, because in Game of Thrones, spoilers, when Jon Snow is killed in that show, I can't remember which season, but he's killed and he's brought back to life. He leaves the Night's Watch, I think it's called, the Night's Watch, and they're like, well, you can't leave. You're the Lord Commander and all that. And he's like, yes, I vowed till I fucking die. I died. Well, in 40K, death is common. And coming back from death, well, I won't say it's common, but coming back from death comparatively to our world, very fucking common. Like, you have dreadnoughts as a huge big example, and there are dreadnoughts in the Death Watch. Being killed does not end your duty or your oaths. If you are successfully brought back in any form, your promises, your oaths, and your vows come back with you. There is a saying within 40K, even in death, I still serve. That's a common dreadnought saying. Why would it be any different for a Primaris? Oh, well, Calgar ordered it. Calgar doesn't have the authority to overturn the Inquisition. And that's who's in charge of the Death Watch. They are above Space Marines. Like I said yesterday, if it was Gilliman who told them to back off and said, I'm doing this, that's one thing. But just Calgar, I don't mean to demean him too much. I mean, I hate Ultramarines and all that, but he's just a chapter master. And yes, in the grand scheme of the world, that is no small thing. But in terms of the Inquisition, he's small potatoes. You are one chapter master of thousands of Space Marine chapters that we deal with every day. You are just a chapter master. You do not have the authority to overturn the oaths and vows made to not only the Death Watch itself, but the Inquisition in turn, the Ordo Xenos, for Titus. At the same time, I will acknowledge only lore nuts like me will give a damn about that aspect, for one, and for two, I get that they really wanted to have the poster boy Ultramarines as the faction still playable in this game. They could have done Death Watch, I just don't know why they didn't, but it's GW. They probably mandated it be Ultramarines because those are that's the chapter painted on every single box set that they're trying to sell. So they want that brand recognition. It's annoying to me that lore breach was put in just for that, but at the same time, everything else is so good, that doesn't kill the game for me or anything. It's just basically it's like this one like flaw you see in something that you can't, like, you could see the beauty of the rest of the painting, but it's this one little chip in the back of your head that you just can't not see. So that's what bothers me a little bit. Alright. Assemble, you pieces of shit. I wish we could have followed Titus and Deathwatch. I know. That would have been so much cooler. It's Deathwatch. They hardly get any love as it is. Yeah, either way, you got downgraded hard. I mean, yeah, massively. I joked about it yesterday. Is there any good news? You're an Ultramarine again. You're a Primaris. And you're not a captain anymore. Why don't you just bolt around my head for Christ? For Emperor's sake. I can think that Hasbro fuck, probably. And Vivek, Grey Knights have a specific gene seed. Yeah, Grey Knights, so yeah.
Assessment equals inordinate ignorance.
We'll be overrun in minutes.
By the Omnissiah, cease interruptions.
Major.
Akran finally sends me what I asked for.
Archmagos, it is
Okay, I love that
imperative
little
you
interaction.
evacuate immediately.
Detroit will not leave without the data. Relocate to my facility. I will instruct Servervox.
Make ready to leave. This will not take long. Major, I have a second unit working on a theoretical that should buy you some time.
My lord! I've lost 3 squads trying to reach that lab. We think something's out there.
Noted.
The Emperor protects.
Okay, I love the personality they gave them, the tech adept. That was fucking funny. he's a grouchy old man. That was funny. Oh god, that was funny. He's like, yeah, shut up, you whippersnapper. I'll do what I want. that is perfect. Ultramarines are my favorite chapter. Oh, I pity you. But even I think he should have been Deathwatch in this game. Yeah. You'll have. Don't worry, Finn. I still love you despite your favorite faction being the Ultras. Ultramarines, I despise them so much.
Planet stench out of our armor.
Compared to your usual aura, it is an improvement, brother.
Deeply amusing.
Okay, that's pretty accurate Space Marine humor. Oh yeah, fun fact for anybody who doesn't know. In the lore, on one occasion, this is the last time I'll pause in a hot minute so we can get through the gameplay here. But I just really want to share this for those who don't know. In the lore, the Space Marines aren't really known for their humor a lot of the time. But when they do make jokes, it's actually quite funny. For example, I believe it was Kato Sicarius had one of his unit have like his arm get sliced off in battle. And he go, I can't remember what the brother's name, but let's just invent a name. Brother Tagrius. Brother Tagrius, hey, Brother Tagrius, your arm is missing. You've lost your arm. And Brother Tagrius was like, no, I haven't. It's over there. So Space Marines aren't known for their humor, but when they do it, it's actually quite funny. Michael Rivera, welcome to stream. Lore Breach is a funny way of saying nitpicking, especially since it's only been 2 days since he got saved with the Ultramarines. So much time for Inquisition to find out. Like, bro, you can, like I said before, it's not like it. I'm saying it's ruined the game, and you can call it nitpicking all you want, but it's my opinion. Like, I'm allowed to have that. You can be a fanboy of the game and defend the game, buddy, but I'm not, like, shitting on the game. I'm not saying the game is utter trash because of my opinion or the thing that I notice that's bothering me. And you're right, there is time for the Inquisition to find out. There's also time for the campaign to address my issue. So, I don't know if they do. If they don't, that'll be irritating, but maybe in the DLC they will. But, dude, you don't need to... You don't need to whine to me that I have an opinion you don't like. Like, chill out. Alright, let's punch a hole. Make a hole, more likely. Oh, shit. Is that a lictor? I didn't see its face. I saw the prongs, though.
Damn it!
This is the work of a lictor.
I have a plasma pistol.
Two of our brothers have fallen.
Hello, have a nice stream. I'm sorry for my poor English. No, you're fine. I use a translator. Why does Carcharodon have a Primaris? A few people know about them, right? How was Primaris sent to them? This is another example of GW when they implement something new for the sake of sales or something financial. They do very little build up. They do very little build up or very little cleanup. They just kind of throw shit into the lore. Primaris are a good example. They were written in a pocket without considering the rest of the impact of the lore. Like, for example, yeah, like, they just kind of hand-waved the Primaris into the rest of the chapters, with very few of them rejecting them. And on the list of chapters that just accepted them, they had the Black Templars, which makes no fucking sense. The Black Templars are religious, insane fanatics. Like, absolutely insane. Hey, Vic, how's performance today? So far, pretty good. Alright, let's do a charge. Yeah, it's, since I installed it on the SSD, it's doing a lot better. Not perfect, but it's more workable than it was. Oh.
Toxins assail my senses.
Fuck you piece of shit. There we go.
Restocking.
And diced. Boom.
Need to reload.
Okay. Alright, ammo box. Nope.
Munitions secured.
Another one dead.
That opening offers a shortcut.
Then we shall take it.
Also, thank you, Vivek, for the very generous super chat. I appreciate it. Didn't Black Templars kill the first Primaris sent to them? That was added later. On the initial introduction of Primaris back in the lore, it was hand-waved in. Like, they were like, oh, okay. All these, I think they said, like, what, 75% of the chapters, or 70 or 75% of the chapters just accepted.
A boon that thrums with promise.
That also be used to recover incapacity. Okay. Okay, alright, I got a chainsword. But GW just hand-waved their introduction into the lore initially, and after the fan base complained that there was, like, no build-up, there was no proper, like, groundwork done, this was just kind of dropped into the lore, and there was so many flaws with them hand-waving in, like, oh, Black Templars of all chapters, yes, they totally would be okay with... Yeah, they totally would be okay with the introduction of Primaris, which they would have viewed as heresy, because these are Space Marines that weren't made by the Emperor. They would consider them abominations. At best, they would have considered them an attempt by Gilliman to replace their numbers with effectively Ultramarines, rather than their fellow Sons of Norn. At worst, it would have been absolute heresy, and they would have conducted a full-blown civil war on Gilliman. They would not have responded well to that shit. Crap. I meant to execute the one in front of me, but okay. Yeah, the performance is doing much better today.
Restocking.
I don't think I've dipped below 40 frames. Not since, like, the very beginning. No, you don't. Oh, shit. I fell off the bridge, brother. So long, I'm running around. Hey, Tank. I still keep my own personal lore that the chapters all agree to take Primaris, only to retire them once no one is looking. I mean, that's, again, that lore-wise, that's what it would have been most appropriate for the Templars to have done, for sure. Like, there was so little care put into the introduction of the Primaris. I think it, if anything, like, there's lots of aspects to Primaris that pissed off traditional fans of 40k, but it wouldn't have been as bad as it was if there was build-up. Like, they built up, like, there was hints of, like, a Magos working on this thing. If they also didn't make calls such a fucking Mary Sue, whatever you want to prefer. Like, there was so much they could have done to build up Primaris properly. But instead, it was like, one day they were there, and the next they were like, oh, by the way, they're here. Here's the brief lore tidbit of why. And, yeah, this... In the background, this whole time, this Magos, who is all these fucking crazy things and has done all these crazy things, did better than the Emperor, because Primaris are supposed to be superior products than the Emperor himself could make. There's so many, like, problems with how they handled that, and they haven't undone the worst problems. So, so for context, for anyone who doesn't know why there's so much Primaris hate, the handling of it was extremely bad. And if you were a fan it was 8th edition, I believe they were added. If you were a fan of any edition older than 8th or 8th and before, you probably didn't respond super positively to them. Unless you didn't care about the lore. I should throw that out there. There are people who, they just care about the aesthetic of 40k, but they don't give a damn about the lore behind it. In my opinion, though, I don't think you can call yourself a fan of 40k if you only care about the aesthetic. Like, you could say, oh, I like 40k, or I think 40k looks cool, but to call yourself a fan of 40k, you do need to like the lore to it. Now, if you're getting into the lore, and you're new to it, that's different, but if you're like, oh, I don't really care about the lore, I just think it looks cool. Fuck, bombers. Hate these things.
Restocking.
Yep.
Munition secured.
Primaris, oh, would have been great if they got introduced and went full trader. Got stomped by the older and more experienced proper Astartes, and then because of the devastation, their tech got adapted. Or adopted. I would have preferred that as well, and the idea, yeah, it would also given a reason to give Chaos a revamp of a lot of their models as well. But again, when GW wants to add something, they don't tend to care about the lore. And to quote GW themselves, they're not a games company, and you know, they don't say it explicitly, but I'll add in the underline of that, or the subtext of that, we're not a lore company either. We're a models company. They've said that many times over the decades. They sell models. They want to sell models. The war game is just so they can facilitate selling the miniatures. You know, it is the war game. The war game is just there to advertise and facilitate the sale of mass numbers of model kits. That's all. I'll give if I'm gonna give GW any credit, it's there. They've been honest about that from the outset, and that really hasn't changed.
Stabilizing vitals. Reloading weapon.
And I have a plasma pistol. Hey, Fafnir, welcome to stream. Remember that call had 1,000, hid 1,000 of Primaris, made new weapons, gear, and vehicles, and managed to hide it all? Yeah, like I said, Call makes it even worse because of his Gary Stew aspects. I mean, he did it better than the Emperor. He somehow made better tech than ever before. He did all these things that the Emperor didn't do. And it'd be one thing if they could have fixed that one part with Call in particular just by adding one detail. Call found old blueprints on Terra when he was given access way back when by Gilliman, let's say, to one of like the ancient archives, and there's still plenty of problems with this, don't get me wrong, but it's better than what they did. Given access to Gilliman giving Call access to some ancient blueprints the Emperor penned himself, but didn't find necessary. That would have fixed so much shit. Like, genuinely, that would have fixed a huge bunch of shit. But because they didn't do that, we just are left with, oh, Call was such a genius in this epic, godlike tech adept that he successfully made better shit than the Emperor ever did. Both on a genetic level with the Primaris themselves and their equipment. Bullshit.
Small arms fire. It sounds close.
So, yeah, a little bit of context for those who don't know why there's Primaris hate. There you go.
Assist them.
Another one dead.
For artillery.
Fuck you. There we go. Shit. Get off me. Fuck you. Fuck. And die. Stupid worm. Fuck you. OG Space Marines for life. I'm with you there, man. I will say this. This is one thing I will throw out there. To give Primaris some credit. Actually, no. Let me keep going. I keep pausing because I want to, like, expound on it, but I'll just say real quick. I don't have a problem with the aesthetic of Primaris Space Marine. Like, the actual design, I don't have a problem with. I don't love this helmet. I do prefer the older marks of helmets. Not all older marks. I don't love beakies. I think beakies are ugly. But, other than that, I pretty much love every other Space Marine helm design. So for me, I don't have a problem with the new armor design. I would prefer the pauldrons to be bigger as well. Like, that's the only other thing I'll denote. Like, the pauldrons and the helm. Those are the only problems aesthetically with the Primaris armor I have. Everything else is fine. Everything else is cool. People say it's a little simplistic here and there or stuff like that. Some people hate it just because they hate Primaris so much and they're just carrying over the hatred. Me, I'm able to separate the two. Like, I hate Primaris. I hate the lore behind them because there really wasn't any for the longest time. And when they finally cleaned it up, it felt kind of cheap how they did it. It's like, oh yeah, in retrospect, yeah, we fucked up with the introduction. Here's some things we're adding for stories that happened that we didn't acknowledge at all. Like with the Black Templars initially rejecting the Primaris.
Come and taste death, vermin.
Okay, Bolt Carmine, inbox, okay. But, yeah. The aesthetic, though. Like, I don't mind the design. Outside, the helmet, I don't hate. I just would prefer a better helmet design. And again, bigger pauldrons. You prefer the Primaris look? I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it at all. Oh, hello. Is this a lictor? What is this? I prefer the old armor's aesthetic. For me, the ultimate armor for Space Marines was Mark III. Like, that looks sexy. Yep, it's a lictor. I knew it. I knew it. Fucking A. Oh, it's a boss battle, too. Whoa, hello. You little fucking... Fuck. It'll lick you. Fuck off. Nice try, you fat fuck.
Watch your flanks.
Alright, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Special tactics, bro.
Oh shit. Fuck! You piece of fucking shit. Oh shit! You motherfucker. Come here, you fucking... Bye!
Resupplying. Major Sakana, you were correct. There was a lictor out here.
Hey, Wolfenbach, welcome to the
You have already dealt with it.
Normore Lictor?
Indeed.
Normore? Do you mean say no more?
Very good.
Wait, is that it? No more Lictors? Or no more of this one? Mid, I need the stem.
Recovering.
I was gonna just scrounge.
Changing magazine.
Oh, there are more lectures in the game. Okay, good. Or not good. Uh-oh. What's your favorite Legion out of the 18? Imperial Fists. 18. Wink, wink. 20. Again, for those who are not familiar with the lore, there were 20 legions of Astartes back in the Great Crusade era in the Horus Heresy. 2 of them are known as the Lost Legions. Everything about them is redacted or hidden. Meta-wise, they exist in the hobby and in the lore, so, you know, fans can make their own custom chapters that don't have any attachment to the existing legions. So you can invent in your head through homebrew, okay, what were their Primarchs like? What were those legions like for personality and tactics? Like, it gives you the freedom to come up with ideas. And the idea is one of them went Chaos, and the other... And so you can make a Traitor Legions based on them for Chaos Space Marines. And then the other went either Renegade or was killed by Chaos. It was completely wiped out by Chaos. And was lost. So, it's a common joke when talking about the legions of Legiones Astartes for someone to say 20. Oh, I mean 18. Wink, wink. That's a common little joke. Some people actually think there was only 18. Those are usually newer people to the lore who don't know all the nitty gritties. And actually, I do want to say one thing in one more response to that earlier comment. Who said that? Probably scrolled right past it. And I also want to reread it just in case I don't want to misquote. Yeah, by Michael Rivera. So he put in quotes. You know, lore breach is a funny way of saying nitpicking, especially since it's only been 2 days since he got saved by the Ultramarines. So much time for Inquisition to find out. So, one more, like, addressment I want to make of that. I'm a lore guy. I nitpick because I care about the lore. Just because you don't care about the lore as much as I do is not my problem. I do want to throw that out there to anyone else who has the same mindset as this guy. I consider, I know the lore. I love the universe. I've been in the hobby, mind you, not playing video games or just tangentially aware of. I have been in the hobby, collecting miniatures, painting miniatures, reading the novels, the codexes, and collecting for 12 years. I love this stuff. I know this stuff very inherently. 40K is and has been my passion for 12 years of my life. For what you consider a nitpick, I consider par for the course for what I'm aware of. I know more than you, so because I know more than you, I care more than you, and I will call this stuff out. Keep in mind, though, to that dude, I said this is for me. I said for lore nuts, for people who, you know, are more passionate. For me, I do consider these small deviations more than nitpicks. I acknowledge, however, for the average person who are getting into 40K or aren't as familiar with the lore, they might not be the biggest lore nuts, they might not know as much. For them, that is just a nitpick, and I acknowledged that. And I said, hey, I get that this is just me, but this is my stream, this is my channel, this is me playing the game. So you're going to get my perspective. If you want someone to just suck the game's dick and love every single little aspect about it and ignore, even if they are slight, small issues, go elsewhere. I am a lore guy. I'm a 40k guy. I love this shit, and I will point out things that don't line up or don't make sense. That's me. So keep that in mind as you guys watch. That's where the love comes in. Like, those nitpicks are me expressing that I know this stuff, I love this stuff, and for me, these are things that I am going to address and point out and acknowledge. If you want to disregard my perspective, if you want to be like that Michael Rivera guy, fucking leave. Because this is my stream. This is me as a fan going through it. And I already acknowledged that it was a nitpick. Well, I don't think it's a nitpick for me, but it'll be a nitpick for the average person who doesn't know the lore as much as I do, who may not be as impassioned as me. You'll look right past it and not think about it twice. That's fine for you. I'm not going to do that. And even with that issue that annoys me, I still think the game is a 78 out of 10. And now that I've put it on my SSD, I'm actually going to revise my score. I think it's more of an 88. 88 or 89. It's almost a 9 out of 10. For me, what'll push it to a 9 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 will be how the story wraps up and what they address throughout the story. Hopefully, like, that's the only lore bit that annoys me. But, yeah. So even with my nitpick, I still think it's almost an 8 out of 10. And that's also in mind with the technical issues I had yesterday. Today, they've cleaned up quite a bit, so because I put it on my SSD. So that has fixed a lot of that frustration. So, now that we got that out of the way, I just want to address that other aspect that I didn't before. Let's get back to the game.
Facilities and ruin.
Get Valric for that.
Let us hope Nozik's research remains intact.
I figure Valric is gushing over this game pretty hard. And listen, I am gushing over it too. I think this is a great game. It feels like a game from the golden era of video games so far. My only issues were some technical ones and one lore tidbit that admittedly isn't... I even acknowledge it. It's not impossible of a scenario. It's just the way they've portrayed it, where there isn't any protest in the Inquisition. As of yet, that would be an issue. Hopefully they'll address it, but they haven't. As of yet. Valak loves this game? That's alright. And I can't blame him on this front. This one is a really good game. Have you seen Norn Queen is already complaining about how there isn't any female? So, just to confirm, are we talking Norn Queen Alexis or Norn Queen Kia? Because Norn Queen Kia is a grifter who doesn't like 40k, only pretends to on Twitter. If we're talking about Norn Queen Alexis, she's pretty much the same thing these days. I will at least credit with Norn Queen Alexis actually collected the minis and actually does know a little bit of the lore. But she will ignore what she knows. Kia? Okay, that's what I figured. I don't care then. How many Norn Queens are there? In lore or in terms of like people online with that title? Actually, now that I think about it, both Norn Queens online are both trans. Is there something with that? Like, I don't know, Norn Queen Alexis and then Norn Queen Kia, both of them are trans. Is there something with that? Is there something I'm missing there? Because the Tyranids don't scream trans to me. Kia is trans? I'm pretty sure Kia is trans, isn't she? Or am I thinking of the wrong one? Tyranids, man. Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think, like, what's the draw there? It could just be coincidence, to be fair. It's like two people, so.
Verify your signature.
Character name was Chill. I don't think she is.
Spare me the insults,
I'm pretty sure Kia is. So who was on crap, what was that show called? I made a parody of it. My show was Super Base World. It was something cringe that they named it.
More pleasant conversations with orcs.
I don't know. Didn't she go on one of those shows? I remember her voice being very deep, or it sounding like a dude trying to lighten his voice. I could be thinking of the wrong person right now, to be fair. I haven't seen past what I played, so if we end up meeting the Primarch Gilliman, Titus has my full permission to thunder punch him in the sick. You mean the dick? I mean, that ain't gonna happen, but that would be nice. What do you think are the reasons they made Titus an Ultramarine again in this game? I said it like last time, but the reasons are, and I also said it this time actually. The reasons are to sell minis. Because all the Space Marine boxes for 40k have Ultramarines as the poster boys. That's the only reason.
We have arrived at Nozick's
I don't think
facility.
this was a Saber decision. I think they were told by GW, hey, you need to make the main characters Ultramarines because they're what we have on all the boxes. Hey Tiki, are you winning, son? Yeah, daddy.
He deserved better. This Pyoblaster will serve us well against Rippers.
Ooh, flamethrower time.
Brother Decius has fallen.
Received. Location marked for apothecary. Our brother's sacrifice will be remembered.
Rippers, here they come. Ranged weapons only. Keep them back with the Pyoblaster while we thin their numbers.
Okay. Let's make our way.
Resupplying.
Hey James, welcome to stream. Do you think they'll make Titus a Grey Knight based on his warp resistance? That would be a cool evolution. I will say no. Okay, do we jump down? Is that it? Crap.
Munition secured.
Oh, I tossed into it.
Power outage detected. Exit door inoperative. Solution. Restore power.
Genius. We need instructions.
Power system controls at your current location.
Get out of my way.
Restocking.
Back off.
Power up sequence initiation.
Sacred conduits flow. Faults detected in divine matrices.
Oh, of course.
Exercising.
Roast 'em.
Come on, baby.
Opponent's real-time condition goes out. Redistributing medical rooms and people needed.
Do not get too close.
We can't support you. Restoration. Power is restored.
This is a creative mission mode, I will say this. Like, factoring in the Ripper swarms is, bitch.
We shall punish their boldness.
The Rippers, they retreat. Disoriented by the synaptic shock. The floor is clear.
Thanks for being
Let's
Christian.
go.
Hi, Arsha Silva, welcome to stream. He's already all over the place. I don't think making Grey Knight is a good idea. Interesting, but nah. Well, the thing is, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it for meta reasons, but also because writing it, it'd be frustrating. I think they're not going to do it because, again, it's the same reason like they made Ultramarines the main characters again in this game. They want to sell the miniatures. They want to advertise the miniatures via you playing as Ultramarines. So they force everybody to play them for the campaign. And also with Primaris, because correct, they are the models they sell now. They've retired the Firstborn kits vastly. And they also want to leave room for them to be able to do Space Marine 3. Because if this game is super successful, Saber will likely be encouraged or asked directly, hey, can you make a new one?
Fine gift from the forge.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're going to make one like immediately after this one. I think they're going to... Yeah, I think they're going to... Hold on. There we go. I think what they're going to do is focus on this one, make DLC for it, support it for a while, because it's got a season pass, so they're planning on doing DLC. They're going to do that, and then fast forward, I'll say, I'll be nice, let's say 7 years, 7-8 years. They're then going to work on, well, they're probably going to start immediately working on it in the background, but they're going to start advertising for Space Marine 3. It all depends on how successful this is, and from what I hear, and from the amount of people falling in love with this game, and I'm falling in love with it in many ways, it'll deserve a sequel for sure. So I don't know, but it also I guess it depends on also some legal negotiations in the background.
By feeding tubes lowered from orbit. Vile. The sooner we exterminate these horrors, the better.
Season passes, paid content. I didn't say it wasn't. Cosmetic or not, that's still new content to support the game. Hopefully, I am hoping they do add like new mission packs and stuff. That'd be nice for like the co-op. Then again, I don't know how many there are in for the co-op right now. So if there's like 40 different missions or something like that for the, they don't really need to add that. Did I reload? No, I didn't. Crap.
Resupply.
Bye-bye. I will say, like that attention to detail with the synaptic feedback. Oh, Saber did such a good job there. Like they clearly read the lore, and it is a good gameplay mechanic because it encourages you to target the bosses. Well, not the bosses. Well, yeah, the bosses and also like the elite units. That's the word I was looking for. There's a lot of Pyroblaster around here. Should I have kept that? Oh, hello. Goddamn fucking...
What is our heading?
We need to cross this room.
Alright.
Another one dead.
For a second, I was like, another one. Another one. I don't understand it either, but I've actually was a decent. What? What? Oh, just. The road detailed roadmap that promises pretty good things in the future. I haven't seen the roadmap, but I believe it. But why does nobody reload after every engagement? Have I not been? Man, I've been spamming the reload button.
A fire blaster.
Made good use of it.
More scurrying vermin.
Not this shite again. Back away. Alright, which way are we going here? Oh crap, is there a zone throw up in here?
Frag grenade deployed. Munitions secured.
I don't know if I went the right way. No, they cleared up. Anything else? No, you don't.
Frag grenade out. Restocking.
Ah, yeah, there is one.
Watch for the psychic blast.
God damn it.
The Emperor thanks.
Yeah, come here, come here. Die, 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 die. Fuck you.
Enos Psycho.
Okay.
This is Decimus. Wish you could see these dead bastards. By the Primarch, we have sent a mighty fire this day. Tyranid biosigns down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed.
Good.
Excellent work. Move to extract.
I just wanted to cook meat with my flamer. Is that too much to ask? Given that the flamers are fueled by promethium, you would not want to cook a steak with it. There wouldn't be a steak.
Fresh magazine.
They never learn.
Actually, there wouldn't be anything holding the steak either. That would disappear instantly. Not sure what the Guardian Relic does. Was I supposed... is there a button I'm not pressing for that? Oh, for a second I thought it was a power sword. Damn it.
Resupplying.
Box. Can you imagine being a lone guardsman in this situation? There wouldn't be. In this situation, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. There's not even a remote question in my mind. You would be fucking dead.
This will serve me well.
Guardian relic can only be used with down. I think it's. Oh, okay. So it's for getting down. Gotcha.
With jump packs. It has been some time since I brought death from above. The day is not yet done, brother.
Amateurs. Alright, let's keep moving. Working our way through.
Archmagos, we have reached the transmitter.
Analysis. Efficiency level below expectations.
Why didn't you even bother dropping it?
Transmitter at 0 state of charge. Move to generators. I can make the repairs myself via the remote system is in your honor.
Will that interfere with operation?
Negative. And keep close proximity to the terminal where I work. Connectivity range limited.
Archmagos, begin your work.
Establishing connection. Tyranids incoming.
This ought to be fun. Whoops.
Ignition secure.
Fire! Crap! Crap. I'll be able to test out that relic in a second here. Fuck you!
Generator equal to full state charge. Integrate object into subsequent generator.
They are regathering themselves.
Hey Claudius, welcome to the stream. Good day to the party. I'm here to reinforce our loyal brother's efforts. Titus and his brothers. Fuck.
Archmagos, proceed.
Connecting to systems. Emphasize. Maintain zero translation.
In other words, do not move.
Yeah, this is getting. Oh, fuck! One of them showed up. I hate those things. Oh, two of them. Oh, yay. Yeah, I gotta test out the relic. Works like a charm. damn it. What the fuck? God damn.
Resupplying.
Tea time? Really? Bathe them in Promethean fury. I've been trying. I find it funny that nobody's picked up that the Mary Sue gene seed. Okay, it is inherently flawed. What do you mean? Because I know in the original introduction they said that Primaris were incorruptible, and then later they changed it. Well, they didn't change it explicitly. They just implied that they could still be corrupted. And now that was just like a, not propaganda necessarily, but that was just a push that they were hoping for. But the gene flaws still exist. Outside of that, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Restocking.
And gimme. Wait, where are we supposed to go? Oh, okay.
Reach extension initiated. Activate control room console to commence transmission.
Special tactics ready.
Ooh. That is beautiful. Those coils. That's sexy.
Denied. Classified. Leave such matters to me. Report. Transmission complete. Your assistance is no longer required.
Major Sarkana, please escort Nozick to the Thunderhawk and get him off world.
Yes, my lord. With pleasure.
I shall be glad to be rid of these trivial duties.
Same.
As I will be glad to cease the flapping of this repugnant flesh voice.
Heck adepts.
Time to go.
Or Archmagos, I guess in this case. Alright, let's go.
Archmagus, confirm receipt of data stream.
This is Lyrio. Transmission received. Nozick is on the Thunderhawk. Standing by.
Get him out of here.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't say 10 years ago even. I wouldn't go that far back, Vivek. I'd say the max of their plot armor didn't start to fade. And when I say start to fade... Oh, hello.
Hit. Lyrio, do you read me?
Ah, shit.
Major, did you see what happened?
No idea! We saw no impact!
That is territory claimed by the swarms. We need to reach him, fast. There was an
God damn
armoring
it.
chamber below. Jump packs. Sir, the guardsmen.
With respect, my lord! We're Cadians! We can take care of ourselves!
Alright, respect to Sarkana. That is pure guardsman energy though, right there. Is like, don't worry about us, we do our job.
The Tyranids will swarm the crash site. If Nozick is still alive, his time
Gene
is
seed
limited.
may makes the Marine take on the looks and proportions of that of their Primarch. How do you explain it? Oh, that's what you're talking about. That's not a flaw. That's just the design. May explain the mutation labs for one different brother.
We are at
For
war.
your one different brother. You mean the
Death
black
waits
one?
for all of us.
Yeah. That's been a lore break for a while. Again, it's one of those things where GW are updating things for like a modern audience, doing the inclusivity thing. It's annoying, but yeah.
Repositioning.
At the same time, the lore is... I've already had this conversation before. The lore in regards to how that works exactly, I've already explained this, so give me a second to explain it once again. But as I've explained previously on a stream and on video form, I'll do it for a fourth time here. The lore on that isn't explicit. Not that there isn't... There's this misunderstanding from the 40k fanbase that the genetic part of the gene seed that makes you look similar to your Primarch is 1-to-1. That is incorrect and a complete misunderstanding. In fact, since the inception of the true lore, I would call it, which is like the Horus Heresy novels, it's been debunked that it's 1-to-1. Not that you are made to look similar to your Primarch. It is. That still happens, but it varies. So, for example, in the very first book of the Horus Heresy, which I have right here, in fact. In the very first book of the Horus Heresy. In the very first book, Horus Rising. This is the inception of the Horus Heresy series. I have the Masterwork hardcover because I love it so much. This is one of, and as you guys can tell, it's thicker than the Bible. Actually, how many pages are we talking about here? It is, not including the advertisement at the very end of the book, 434 pages. So, in this book, we are introduced to a character amongst Horus's retinue who is nicknamed Little Horus, and he's part of the Mournival. The Mournival, without trying to spoil too many details about the Horus Heresy novels, because I do encourage everybody out there who's interested and through this video game might be being introduced to 40k for the very first time. If you want to know true 40k lore, read the Horus Heresy novels. Read, I'd say, the first 10 to 12. Those are all, for the most part, good. They start to go downhill after that pretty sharply. The Siege of Terra series has a lot of bad blips as well. But the early books, for sure, were the best. And in the Horus Rising, with the character Little Horus, which I think his name was also Horus Aximand was his actual name. But they call him Little Horus. That's the nickname within the Mournival, which are kind of like they're a warrior's lodge within the Luna Wolves, which later got renamed to... I always remember those Luna Wolves. But they were the Sons of Horus. That was their legion. And Little Horus was unique and got the nickname Little Horus because he uniquely looked like their Primarch Horus. That is evidence within the lore that aspect, that part of the gene seed that makes a given Space Marine look similar to their Primarch, that it shows that that's not how it works. It doesn't like magically turn you 100% like your Primarch or like a mini version of your Primarch. If that were the case, Horus Aximand or Little Horus wouldn't have gotten that nickname. He wouldn't have been considered unique. And the fact that that from the perspective of the characters in the book and within the Mournival itself, all thought that was unique and thought it was cool and agreed that that was the nickname to give him, shows that in the lore, it's not 1-to-1. The part of the gene seed that makes one look like their Primarch, it varies in degree. In some cases, it makes, in Horus Aximand's example, it does make you look 1-to-1 like your Primarch, but he probably already looked similar as a kid, and then as he got his gene seed and all those other and all the surgeries, he then came out of it looking identical to his Primarch, just a miniature version, becoming Horus Aximand. Everybody else within their legion doesn't have that nickname Little Horus, right? It's they vary in the degree in which they resemble their Primarch. they take on traits. That's what we know for sure. They take on traits. The degree is what varies. Some, like for example, the Blood Angels. A lot of them end up turning blonde. Not all of them do, but a lot of them do. A lot of them might have their jawline get a little bit more sharper and more angular to resemble Sanguinius, but it's not universal. So this is a thing with, it's not even really an inconsistency. It's been consistently inconsistent about this aspect. It's just this is where it's forgivable to have Marines that look significantly different from their Primarchs, because you can just simply say in the lore, oh, in their case, the only thing that changed might have been eye color, or the only thing that might have been changed was jawline, but their skin tone didn't get any lighter, or their hair color didn't change. That makes sense. And that's been in the lore since 2003, 2004. Some of them get personality traits too. True, that is also true. That's like an echo of their Primarch's soul, if you will, within the gene seed. Part of the mysticism element. But what I'm just trying to get across for any who might be confused about that little detail, it's just not one-to-one. Like, that's a common misconception. It's a complete misunderstanding. And when you're arguing with people about elements of the lore that are getting, like, perverted by, like, modern ideology and stuff like that, it's good to actually target the things that are actually, that aren't, okay within the lore. For example, female Space Marines. That cannot happen. It's been expressed in the lore explicitly that there cannot be. Everything from the genetic standpoint to the Emperor's own intention standpoint. He himself did not want female Space Marines. He wanted male only because he didn't want a superior race above human. He made the Space Marines so they would have an advantage in war against physically superior races throughout the galaxy. He made them as weapons, but the intent was once the humanity conquered the galaxy, the Emperor was going to retire the Astartes, just like he did the Thunder Warriors. He didn't want a genetically superior race to manifest in the galaxy. That has been very clear in the lore. It's been very clear also in the subtext of the codexes, and it's been reiterated 1,000 times. So for everything from the way the gene seed is designed to the Emperor's own intentions. So that's just something to throw out there. But when regards to the resemblance to one's Primarch, it's never been one-to-one. Like, you wouldn't have unique denoted cases like Horus Axaman's if it was. Actually, now I'm saying it, I'm not sure if Little Horus was Horus Axaman or if that was another one of the Mournival. I don't know, I'll double check that later. But the point still stands. Like, Little Horus was unique in that aspect. Man, it's so nice to the Emperor to have a retirement plan for soldiers. It's the same retirement plan for, what was it, Lenny from Of Mice and Men? Same exact retirement plan. Just look at the flowers, buddy. Wait, was it flowers or dandelions? What was it? He was Horus Axaman, yeah. Okay, good. So I was remembering correctly. But yeah, that's one thing I just wanted to address real quick. Yeah, because it's not really it's not really an inconsistency there. Does this mean Astartes still have their junk? That's been a debate for years. The thing is, we don't know if Space Marines are sterilized. That's commonly interpreted in the lore, and that may be true. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. From everything I've read in regards to the ability for Space Marines to procreate, we know from the Space Wolves that they are able to have fun, shall we say, with ladies. But the procreation, so they do still have their dicks. They haven't been chopped off, and they can still put them at mast, shall we say. It's just that their compatibility with like a normal human woman is non-existent. Like they cannot, even if they finish, they cannot procreate. So whether they're sterilized or they just, like, the genetics just don't compound, that's where there's some, there's room for interpretation there. I will say, like, when people say with confidence that they're sterilized, that I don't agree, mainly because the lore is just not explicit on that front. And the Space Wolves are proof that they are still able to engage in fun activities shall we say. We just don't have any evidence. We just know that nothing will come of that, right? Like, there will be no children produced between a human and an Astartes. But theoretically, if there were female Space Marines, that would be possible. Again, theoretically. There should never be female Space Marines. It's been, again, the Emperor never wanted them. He doesn't want a genetically superior human race. He didn't want an Ubermensch. He wanted a temporary superhuman force to conquer the galaxy with in an efficient manner, in great numbers, and then eliminate them and allow mankind, base-born humans, to become the caretakers and guardians of the galaxy and of the universe as a whole. That's what the Emperor's goal was. So, yeah. We have one solid proof that they are not able to procreate. Emperor's sons, you mean Emperor's children? Because of those sick bastards or not, we would have all kinds of unimaginable horrors. Yes, exactly. Do Space Marines have more chromosomes? I don't know about that. Like that. All I know is that they're not sterilized. They just genetically are incompatible with humans. They do have their junk. We have proof of that from the Space Wolves because they have did the midnight tango with ladies, and it doesn't come of anything when that happens. So that's I will say this, like, only Fenrisian women would be able to survive that. Just saying, you're a base-born woman and you have some fun with a Space Marine. These guys who are able to crush human skulls in their palm like it's a soda can, an empty soda can. They are some brave women. I mean, when you live on Fenris, it makes sense, though. I'll set the book on the side there. But anyway, I just want to hit that real quick. Let's get back to it. My seat is too powerful. You. Good God. This is the fun of 40k, though, when you get in these conversations. Okay.
Jump back engaged.
Get a hang of this jump pack here. Alright, I think we have to get up there.
Engaging thrusters.
Oh, left shift. Oh, okay. That'll make that easy. Is the game running any better today, Asmo? Hey, Avic. Yes. Much better. I reinstalled it on my SSD. So that has helped notably.
Redeploying.
I have no more room on my SSD now, but I can play the game now.
Xenos burning. Full advantage of the jump packs.
Okay, no, that's just an opening. Okay. What? Oh, I forgot to return.
Position secured.
Stalker.
Let us get to work. Restocking. Target destroyed.
There's a fly right in front of my face for a second there. Ow. Who can play that game, eh?
Got you. Reloading weapon. Resupplying.
Whee!
Restocking. Moving. Another one dead. Reloading weapon.
Having a good time when he says "we." We. That's true. Let's see. Get better at aim at hands and flying sniper rifle and Nids. Yep. Just shows you the gunplay is eh. Yeah. I like the Aquila Mark 7 power armored classic Marines. The best. Grew up with those. Yeah, I can't blame you. Mark 7 is a lot of people's favorite. Mark 3 is mine. I really like that crusading knight vibe.
Biomass. Too high to jump. We have melter charges left in it.
Place them strategically. Weak points only.
Xenos protect their hive.
Stop at nothing. We must reach the crash site. Need to reload.
Hold still, you little shit.
Reload.
Brothers, we have no time. Let us blow this damn wall.
Forgive me, brother. I am enjoying my job.
2 or 3 more of them.
Go back engage. We are wasting time. Get those charges in position.
Thank you, motherfucker. Ow, ow, ow. Alright.
Melter charge in position.
Wait, I already had one. I thought that was a normal bolter. Alright.
Redeploying. So
Every delay risks the lives.
Superhero landing!
Blow this wall now.
I adore Mark III, however, I'm not a fan of the new Mark III sculpts. They have new ones? Is that for Horus Heresy? So I missed those. I didn't realize they did new skulls for them. I just have my old ones. Oh, they're back there. Shit.
Brothers, we have no time. Let us blow this damn wall.
And applied.
Melter charge set. Xenos toxins. Stabilizing vitals. I am down.
Where the fuck are my squad members? Hey, AI! You're fucking... Gotta love the AI. Fucking A.
Engaging process. Recovering. We have no time. Let us blow this damn wall.
Oh shit.
Repositioning.
What the fuck?
Every delay risks the lives of our brothers. Blow this wall now.
I'm trying. You useless fucking AI. Oh, you revived me this time. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't back engaged. On the track.
Get over it. Thank you.
We are wasting time. Get those charges in position.
I'm half tempted to
Melter
half
charge
tempted
in
to ask my friends if they want to play co-op. At the same time, I don't want us to chit chat over lore moments. That's why I'm playing solo.
Redeploy.
That's quasi. That's a meme we started yesterday. Alright, fair, cool.
Reloading weapon.
Die, you piece of shit.
Engaging process.
Another. How do you like the jetpack in this game? I find it a lot worse than the first. It's a lot worse. It's a lot worse. I'll be happy when this segment is over. Run. Nope, crap. Button. Alright. Alright, there we go. Fourth one. Specimening. If you need us, we're here, brother. I'm trying to do it alone. Not because I don't want to play with you guys. I do. It's just if we play together, we're gonna have fun bantering and being dorks, and that might result in me missing something important. I'm trying to be able to like absorb all the story without worrying about that. But if the AI continue to suck. God damn it. Bye. Genobomb deployed. Is that a bad thing, Asmo? No. Yes and no. It is bad because I do want to, you know, listen to the story. I want to catch every little tidbit. You know, I want to be able to like talk about like what they do really well, which they've done. You know, the aesthetic perfectly. They've done like how the Space Marines fight very, very well, as good as you can do for a video game. It's the quality wise, it's as good so far as the first game for sure. A little bit better in certain parts, a little bit worse in others, but oh, the grouchy old. What a way to go.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Sweep the area.
Alright, this is where we're so just like the first game, we're switching from Tyranids being the main. Actually, we're doing it a little bit faster than the first game. But in the first game, yeah, we fought orcs and then we switched to fighting and dealing with chaos. And this feels like we're only on like the second or third big mission. That's
Brother, I'm fine. It must be the Rubicon surgery. When? 2 days.
soak up all you can what's worth from the game's poor performance. It's doing a lot better performance-wise today. Because I switched to the SDD, solid state drive, SSD, STD.
Nozick is dead. Mission is over.
Whoever did this is long gone.
You tried out PvP, it's fun, but it feels like a bunch. I mean, that I like that kind of thing. Being able to queue in as a team, and I do like that. Is good to hear. It would be ideal though if you did enter solo, they would matchmake you with a bunch of other people who are going in solo and randomizing on teams, and then the people who queue in a pre-made team can then queue up against another pre-made team. That way, it balances out. But at the same time, I get that they're just trying to fill slots. But hey, we can formulate a 6-man team and we can communicate like a squad. We can go all out, bruh. All right, so we picked up a relic, and given Titus's reaction, it probably tainted by chaos. Dead toaster. Yep. The grouchy old Admech died. What a shame, what a shame. Brother Lawful tired of the very loyal coffee enjoyers chapter reporting for duty. Only death does filing end, who they shall be the finest administrator. Yeah, you share that in the Discord. Yeah, that's the litany of the desk watch.
Akaran will not deceive us, Gadriel.
En route to
Where
Amaranth.
did Dimitri and Titus serve previously? And why is he back in battle so soon after such grievous surgery?
Sergeant Ventiad spoke of a Death Watch team that deployed a virus bomb on Kadaku. Perhaps our lieutenant was one of them. I am far more concerned with what we just saw at that crash site.
That was a good opportunity for them to even address, at least in a small way, the controversial move to adopt back in a member of the Death Watch, specifically Black Shield, that just, welcome back to the... again, I don't like that they're not addressing it at all. It's very hand-waved, which does annoy me. And again, for any Michael Rivera's out there, it's, it is a personal nitpick, and to the average person, they won't care. I do. I know the lore, so I know where the chip in the painting is. So for me, I just want them, like, something small, something like, shouldn't we be worried if the Inquisition were to stop by? That's the least of our concerns at this moment. Literally something as small as that, boom, I'm satisfied. It's just they're not addressing the controversy that this would cause politically with the Inquisition.
Lieutenant.
Brother, are you recovered?
I am.
The apothecary should run a diagnostic.
I do not have the need nor the time for such a process.
Magos Gallio also expressed his concern. Consider his counsel, if not ours.
If there is any risk of recurrence, it puts the whole squad in jeopardy.
It can wait. I must speak with Captain Akaran.
As you command.
Vox, the super manager.
With our bodies, our blood, and our soul,
Okay, I love this. This is nice. And you got the cherubs.
our very life force is a gift from him. And we shall use it to serve him only. For he is the light of mankind. His is the one truth in a galaxy of falsity and horror. Those that defy his will shall be cut down in swathes. Their armies crushed. Their tainted lands burned to ash.
Alright, I like how they're handling the chaplain's words.
Wretched kind eradicated from existence.
No, this is how chaplains are. So this is more accurate. I like this.
Waste to the Xenos plague in the name of the Emperor.
And also to give credit where credit is due, they're handling... For a second there, I was worried they were going to portray the chaplain as... And in many ways, he is, like, preaching very religiously. But the Ultramarines, especially at this point with the Primaris cutting in...
Will not be regarded favorably by the machine cult.
The fault is theirs. Their own reports suggested engine failure. Anyway, damn the Archmagos. Lirio and Alterius both lost their lives in that crash.
Our armorers would not have permitted such a fault. But someone is responsible.
You hate that chaplain a lot? Okay. Is it Leandros? Don't answer that, but... someone mentioned that yesterday, too, and like, that theorized it was Leandros. And in the 200 years... Well, it's been 100 years, because I believe in the first game, Titus had already been a Space Marine for over 100 years. This is 100 years after that. So, it's pretty easy for me to believe that Leandros became the chaplain. Codex may support this action. Is that a hint? Don't do this to me. It does. If that is a narrative choice that they did, if they made Leandros the chaplain, I want to praise that and I want to hate that in equal measure. Because fucking, like everybody else, I hate Leandros. But at the same time, the reason it makes sense lore-wise is he was such a stickler for the rules. And I want to point this out for the millionth time. He was a bog standard Ultramarine, in the sense that the Codex was basically the Bible. It was to be adhered to religiously. It's only fitting that someone like that, which, again, he was a normal Ultramarine and is a normal Ultramarine. Most Ultramarines are supposed to be like that. So whenever somebody says that they hate Leandros, but they say they're a fan of Ultramarines, I laugh. Because it's like, you hate the Ultramarines then, because he is a bog standard. Titus is not a standard Ultramarine by any stretch. He adapts and reacts to things on the battlefield in the moment. He doesn't go in with pre-plans or pre-cognitive logistical moves. Well, he does. He might go in like that, but he will adapt. And he will deviate from the Codex and its doctrines where necessary. Leandros won't. The doctrines are what completely guide all of your actions, and if you die by them, you were meant to die by them. Again, it's like almost a religious mindset with the Codex. So that says, and that's what most Ultramarines are like, lore-wise. So in this era, it would make sense to me, for sure, that he would be a chaplain if he survived all these years. That they would make him one.
It is a relief to see you on your feet.
Heard you took a turn for the worse.
Such reports were exaggerated.
I am glad to hear it.
Your efforts in delaying the swarm were admirable.
It was a sight to behold, brother.
I must report to Agaran. Excuse me.
The Emperor protects.
Emperor protects, brothers. Still, though, Leandros is a chaplain. That's a difficult pill to swallow. I mean, I get it. Makes sense. Just, ugh. No, I get it. I get it. Well, I'm saying lore-wise and, like, narrative-wise, it makes sense. Because he was a faithful, bog-standard Ultramarine. They would make him a chaplain if he stayed like that and he didn't become more like Titus. Because that's who they'd want to influence the youngins. What? I also agree that that fucking sucks, because all of us wanted him to die, because he betrayed Titus and treated him like shit.
It was not clear to you.
So him becoming a chaplain of the Ultramarines sucks, because he basically got rewarded for being a little bitch.
The arch enemy is here.
They chose to reveal their presence. There must have been a reason they wanted Nozick dead.
Because he knew something. Is ever filing.
What in damnation happened down there?
Nozick was assassinated.
The Adeptus Mechanicus report said engine failure.
That's not what I saw.
Oh, by the way, another thing I haven't pointed out, but also putting it on my SSD made it so these cutscenes are actually lip-synced now. Thank you, God.
You're sure? No mistaking it, sir.
Clear the bridge.
Alright.
Nozick was head of a highly classified project.
Aurora. What is it?
A weapon.
And the minions of Chaos learned of its existence.
With Nozick dead, there's only one man capable of continuing the work. Morius Luz, Nozick's apprentice. He is currently missing. His last known location was a Mechanicus facility on Avarax. One that is now overrun with Tyranids.
I'm sorry they made you an Ultramarine in the game, Asmo. Thank you for apologizing. I hope somebody would.
Luz's tracker from there. We are on course to Avarax now.
Yeah, I hate the Ultramarines so much.
Enter orbit.
But granted, these are the so far, these guys haven't been too bad, but that's because they're not in 100% lore accurate Ultramarines yet.
What concern is it of yours?
The Mechanicus seemed eager to retrieve it, and yet the enemy left it untouched.
Whatever it is, without Luz, it's useless to us.
Comrade Gamers, welcome to stream. So quick question then, since Chaplain was brought up. Is there a difference between a Chaplain and a Reclusiarch? Oh yeah, definitely. Not fully well-versed when it comes to stuff like that in 40k. So Reclusiarch is a unique title? I believe so. There might be another chapter that... So, if I'm not mistaken, Reclusiarch is a unique title within the Black Templars. You gotta understand that the Black Templar structure as a whole is very different from a lot of other chapters. For example, they have a chapter master in air quotes, but they don't call them a chapter master. They also don't have scout marines. They have initiates. It's either initiates or there might be another title, but they have initiates and they have like a squire equivalent effectively. That isn't a full blown marine. That's how they get away with like having massive numbers of space marines, despite the fact that the codex orders them to only have 1,000 or less. They get away with it because they have a whole rank dedicated to being not fully space marines. They might have had a couple of genetic upgrades, but they haven't had the full thing. And then they give them they kind of squire to an existing battle brother within the Templars. But anyway, to stick to the title of Reclusiarch, Reclusiarch is not as far. There are chaplains within the Black Templars, and there are Reclusiarchs. They are different ranks. So, let me actually pull up the Lexiconum entry so I can give you like the more specifics. But I know they are different titles, because I know that the Black Templars also have chaplains, or at least I'm pretty sure they still have chaplains. Reclusiarch. Okay. So, pulling up my Lexiconum entry. Hello, Aaron Ken. Welcome to stream. Okay, so... Okay, hold on. Nope, correction to I had a misunderstanding. Hold on. So a Reclusiarch is one of the senior members of the chaplaincy. So it is still different from a standard chaplain, but it is part of the line of it is part of the line of chaplains. The Reclusiarchs are kind of like the high Reclusiarch. A Reclusiarch is kind of like the elevated chaplain. So you have chaplains as a baseline, and then you have Reclusiarchs that are above them. So a Reclusiarch is one of the senior members of the chaplaincy in the Space Marines in the Space Marine chapter. The immediate, so I thought they were Black Templar specific. They are not. The immediate subordinate of the Master of Sanctity. The Reclusiarch is charged with overseeing the Reclusium, the holiest place in the Fortress Monastery, which houses the given chapter's holiest relics. The Reclusiarch also oversees the rituals pertaining to relics, as well as training new chaplains. Okay, so I was under a misnomer, because I thought they were unique to Black Templars. They're not. But I was right that they are a different thing than normal chaplains, but they are part of that line of succession of chaplaincy. So chaplains are like the baseline, and then if they prove themselves worthy, and of course the previous Reclusiarch either dies, passes away, or what have you, or maybe even becomes a dreadnought, they would replace them and become a Reclusiarch. Assuming that they were the most senior member of the chaplaincy below the Reclusiarch. So yeah, the Reclusiarch is kind of, to put it in like more simple terms, based on my understanding. So chaplains are like in a given battle company or group. You have like several of them throughout the chapter, but they go into battle and they go with other warriors and kind of guide them in litanies and stuff like that in battle. But the Reclusiarch also will do that, but they are in charge of at the home monastery of a given chapter in the fortress monastery to take care of the given in-house church. Effectively, they take care of the chapter's relics and all of its precious items. And of course, if those relics are called into battle, they will be the one to present the ancient for the Black Templars, for example, the black blade that Sanguinius wielded. Now, we still don't know if, like, the one they have now is the actual real one, because it's debatable on whether that got actually preserved before Sigismund. Fuck, I do that every time. Sigismund's black sword, his big fuck-off two-hander that it was given to him from the Emperor himself. Yes, I know, Silicon, I do that every time for some reason, because they're both badasses that I really love in the lore, and they both start with S. So I constantly do that. You'll have to forgive me, but I know it's Sigismund. Which sucks. Sigismund is my favorite character. It happens, but it happens every time I try and talk about Sigismund. Is like I accidentally say Sanguinius. But point is, Sigismund. Sigismund's black blade, his big fuck off power sword two-hander that was gifted to him by the Emperor during the Siege of Terra. That is a relic that the Black Templars hold at they hold. The Reclusiarch, if a chosen of the Emperor, which is a unique title within the Black Templars, it's before a given great battle, if one of the battle brothers has a dream or has a vision from the Emperor that he's to like fight in the next battle, his BBS, that battle brother will go to the chaplain and say, "I had a vision from the Emperor. Please, I am to become the chosen a warrior for this battle." And he will be gifted by the Reclusiarch the Black Sword. And his mission when he drops in with his fellow battle brothers is to hunt the leaders or the elites, the bosses, if you will, of the battlefield. So that the Chosen of the Emperor or the Emperor's Chosen will drop in, and while everyone else is maybe performing, just outright combat, they might just be doing a clear job, or they might be trying to like take a fortress or something. While the rest of the forces of a Black Templar company will be focused on that objective, the Emperor's Chosen will deviate. We'll still travel with them, but once he finds an enemy in battle, an elite, like if they're against Chaos, it might be like a fucking Dark Apostle, or hell, it might be Karn the Betrayer himself. The Emperor's Chosen will denote, hey, you're the boss. You're the one the Emperor has chosen me to defeat, and he will challenge that enemy in battle. Now, against different things, like if it's orcs, it might be a war boss, or it might be like a war boss's lieutenant, like a big knob, or Tyranids, it might be a hive tyrant. But regardless, the Emperor's Chosen will be gifted that blade by the Reclusiarch rather than just the chaplain. The chaplain would like receive like the vow of like, hey, I had this vision from the Emperor. I am the Chosen. Please pass along to me the relic, our great relic from Sigismund himself. And they will take up the sword and they will go into battle with it. So that's like unique to the Black Templars. Lots of other chapters also have Reclusiarchs. And again, that was my misunderstanding. I thought it was just chaplains, period, for everybody else, and Reclusiarch was unique to Black Templars. I was incorrect about that. But like the Reclusiarch from other chapters will also do something similar, like depending on their traditions, depending on the relic in question. And the relic isn't always a weapon. Sometimes it might be something else. Might be like a personal field or shield. Might be a reliquary. It might be a bunch of different items that the chapter holds dear and is ancient technology that they preserve and they do like religious rites over. Some chapters aren't religious about it necessarily. They treat it like a religion, but they don't believe in like the Emperor being a god. The Ultramarines are technically one of those. They've never believed in the Emperor as a god. They think of him as a god level being for sure, and they do effectively worship him like a god. But the Ultramarines, amongst many others, in terms of chapters, no, he wasn't. He was a man. He was human. I will say this, technically. That's always something that makes me laugh, is like, oh, the Emperor, we know he was just a man. It's like, he really wasn't, though. Like, he lived tens of thousands of fucking years. He was 10 feet fucking tall, cladded in the biggest goddamn... Now, I know it's debatable, like, how much of that might have been psychic, like, illusions the Emperor was emanating. But the motherfucker was not, like, he was... Listen, the Primarchs are a watered-down version of him. I don't really think you can just write the Emperor off as, he wasn't really a god. I mean, he wasn't, but fuck me, dude. He got as close as you can get to. Just saying. Fucking A. But anyway, big tangent. I just want to explain that.
Correcting. 4 degrees starboard. On course. Engines to full.
Want Sigismund back? Yes, I do too. But he died. He went out. I hate that he died, and it depresses me every time. But the story of him fighting Abaddon, and even though he was up against even though Abaddon was enhanced by Chaos, he hadn't aged a day since the Heresy days in the Great Crusade. Even though Abaddon was wearing Terminator plate and was wielding Horus's big fucking claw, it still was a close fight. Sigismund was ancient by that point. He was over 1,000 years old, I'm pretty sure. So his body had been affected by age. He wasn't wearing Terminator plate, and yet he still was able to nearly disembowel Abaddon. It was fucking glorious.
Unless Luz is already dead.
Whatever those tech priests are working on is still here in this system. I expect
the story is good, nothing tainted. Anyway, gotta go to work. Enjoy it. Alright, thank you, Silicron. Have a good one. And I hope work isn't too bad for you. just would not die. Exactly. I love that story so much. Speaking of the chaplain. If you're Leandros, I swear to God.
Titus, I heard that you collapsed upon encountering the tainted wreckage. I am concerned.
A mere side effect of the surgery. I am fully recovered.
Sergeant Gadriel, I trust that you will be close at hand should your brother suffer any further episodes.
Yes, Brother Chaplain.
If the arch-enemy is indeed present, any weakness could grow into a cancer of the soul. Bind yourself to the pages of the Codex, and it will shield you from the glare of heresy.
My faith is
Yeah,
without compromise.
I'm starting to think that is Leandros in there. Oh, God, please tell me we punch him in the face. You betrayed me, you cunt. I protected you. I brought you down to that hell, and I got you the fuck out. I 1v1'd a fucking chaos-infused dipshit, Mimodon. I know it was, fucking, what was it? No, not Mimodon, Mimroth. I know it wasn't me, that's the nickname. But I fucking beat the shit out of it. I went through hell, through orcs and chaos, and you fucking, if you're not Leandros, I'll take all that back. But you fucking bitch, I swear to God, I will kick your ass.
You look tired, Merrick.
Codex jumpers, yeah.
22 hours until notice. Recap rush.
Demon Prince, yeah.
I am greatly concerned.
It was brief. Likely a result of the surgery.
You suffered.
What evidence is there he lived for tens of thousands of years? All we know is he was genetic. Well, the new evidence, before that was just speculation, because we only had theories for the longest time. I don't want to interrupt what they're saying. But in the Saturn IX Siege of Terra series, we got to meet a character that ruined the lore well before Femsto days, Erda, who was the effective wife of the Emperor. And she is credited as being the mother of the Primarchs, because she donated her genetics to... Well, I put it this way, the book put it a different way, but she donated her genetics to water down the Primarchs, so they weren't at the same level as the Emperor himself. They were like 1 or 2 notches weaker than him. And the two of them, with that combined genetics, made the Primarchs. She then did a lot of other fuck shit. But one of the things she espoused upon in Saturn IX, if I recall correctly, I believe she was the one who revealed that the Emperor's name is Neof. And she also... I don't know if she was the one who did it, but there was also a lore entry at some point after that that denoted that the Emperor Neof, his uncle was... It was either his uncle or his father was the first murderer. Like, in human history. Something like that. And that he killed his uncle in, like, revenge. Or in, like, in a sense of justice. I'll have to find that entry. I'm trying to remember where that was. But, yeah. It was his uncle? Okay. So, that's how we know he's tens of thousands of years old. We have a direct account from his wife. His uncle was Cain. That's the thing. I think they don't like say what his uncle's name was. We just there was some kind of entry about his uncle being the first murderer, like in human history. And then there's like denotions that there's also evidence before that, and this was my preferred evidence because I hate the Saturn IX and I hate all the lore it destroyed. Because it also made Erda fucking responsible for the Primarchs getting tainted by chaos. That's all her fault now. So yeah, in turn, that means every bad thing that happens in the lore is now the fault of Erda. Like literally everything is her fucking fault. As someone who never got into Warhammer previously, the lore is daunting but intriguing. It is, and the other problem is again, you're gonna find if you're new, you're gonna find that there's 2 communities at this point. There's the people who don't really know the traditional lore nor care to know it that care more about like IRL politics and propaganda being put into the community. They want LGBTQ stuff in it. They want, female space marines. They want a bunch of lore breaking stuff. The irony being half the shit that they want, they can have without damaging any of the existing lore, but whatever. So then you have like my end of the community that's more like traditionalists. Like we know the older lore, we know the older stuff, and we prefer the older stuff because it wasn't tainted by anything like that. And outside of like the politics totally aside, there's the problems with the current lore and stuff goes well beyond just like wokeness. It's like the problems are there for that, but the lore is already getting shredded in a bunch of other places where they're just fucking up like gloriously. So yeah, that's why a lot of people like myself, we prefer like pre-8th edition lore. That's why I don't read really much past the first. I've read the last novel of the Horus Heresy series, and that was fucking horrible. Not every part of it was horrible, but that ending was really bad. Would have been better if they left all of this in the realm of speculation. It would have been. It would have been much better. They did not, unfortunately. But even the thing is, we also have evidence the Emperor lived for tens of thousands of years from the Mechanicum novel of the Horus Heresy series, which was one of my favorites. I really love the Mechanicum novel because that covers like the beginning of the Dark Mechanicum versus the Mechanicum on Mars, and then like the Civil War that happened during the beginning of the Horus Heresy there. And part of one of the really cool stuff that they cover in that is there's, I can't remember what the creature is called, but there's a dragon, air quotes, I think it's like a Necron thing. Fuck. Well, there's a dragon, right? That that there's a vision one of the characters has as they're like doing this like little side quest in the Mechanicum novel. Hey, Matty Duell, what's up? Void Dragon, thank you, Void Dragon. There's like this vision that one of the main characters has where it's like a memory from, it was either from the Void Dragon or was just kind of in there. Edward Bailey, thank you for the £5. Thank you. Fun fact, Leandros went against Codex Astartes by contacting the Inquisition. He should have contacted the chaplain or librarian before the Inquisition. Correct. So he's even more of a bitch. I do remember that, yes. But thank you for that. Thank you. And also thank you for the super generosity. But the Void Dragon on Mars, I can't remember if the vision was from the Void Dragon itself, like expressing its memories outward, or if it was something else. But one of the characters had a vision of the Emperor clad in ancient plate armor, not power armor, plate armor, and he was riding upon like a massive horse, and like literally a knight versus a dragon type situation. He has a vision of the Emperor, like capturing and subduing the Void Dragon, and then placing it on Mars. That enters a whole shit ton of questions and speculation, but I really liked that one because it was vague and because they're interpreting either the Void Dragon's memories, or again, I can't remember where the vision came from for that, but it's an interpretation of trying to like process like a memory of ancient times. But the description explained that the Emperor, or what they believe to be the Emperor, arrived on horseback, like sword and board, old school style, and also armed with psychic powers, defeated the Void Dragon, took the maiden, but didn't really care about the maiden. He cared about imprisoning the dragon. And that was like the earliest that I can think of reference to the Emperor living since ancient mythology times. Like he hasn't been alive just since the Golden Age or the Dark Age. He's been alive since before technology existed. So that's been heavily hinted over the years many, many times. And that for me was my preferred version because of its vagaries, because it left speculation open. It's like, okay, how much of this vision was explicit and how much of it was just like the vague recallings of an ancient past echo. I liked that. The outright explanation from Erda, though, I fucking hated. And then the later lore entry of his father being the first murderer. Like, so much of that fucking sucked. And I really, really hate it. And I hate how that's one of the few explicit things we've ever gotten from the lore about a lot of that stuff. But yeah, to answer your question, the Finn, that would be the where. That'd be where it's been stated. Hold on, I gotta search my own. Oh, God. I'm fucking old, man. I did my workout this morning, and I think my muscles are re-stiffening from that. I did 25 bench presses with I bench press 125 now. I'm trying to do stamina at this point. I'm trying to not put any more weight on and just focus, because I do want to build muscle, but I also want to focus on muscle endurance. So that's been a pain in the ass. Whew. And my back, though. Damn. Makes me sad. Bad writers are ruining the lore with stupid stuff. They've been doing it for a decade and a half now. It sucks. You get a couple of gold nuggets from Black Library every now and again, but at this point, most of the writers are more preoccupied putting virtue signaling in the lore, and again, wokeness aside, they're also putting in a lot of because I know most people don't. Oh, not most. A ton of people don't care about that, but even if you don't care about that, they've also completely disregarded trying to be consistent with the lore at this point. There is clearly no attempt at Black Library whatsoever to try and stick to any kind of thorough-through, and they all just kind of write stuff with a generic, like, 40k label on it, and they try and keep the grimdark tone. That's one thing they do still try, to their credit, but then everything else they don't really bother with. Please describe 100% lore-accurate Ultramarine. Maybe I'll start hating them as well. 100% lore-accurate Ultramarine. Leandros. There you go. Leandros is pretty much 100% lore accurate, with the exception of what Edward Bailey pointed out. A standard Ultramarine would still stick with the chaplain denotion rather than going straight to the Inquisition. But 100% lore accurate Ultramarines, they treat the Codex like a Bible, and they disdain and hatefully despise every chapter that doesn't do the same. They treat them like traitors if they don't hump the Codex as much as they do. Generally, they're also super, super gay for Gilliman, even though he's a dick and a douchebag who betrayed his brother, and stole and created and stole the given throne that was due Dorn, because Dorn was named the I almost said Protectorate of Terra. It wasn't the Protectorate. The Praetorian of Terra. By the Emperor towards the end of the Horus Heresy and the Siege of Terra. The Emperor himself named Dorn his successor with that title, because at that point the Emperor didn't want to name another War Master after what was happening with Horus, so he created a new position, the Praetorian of Terra, and he afforded it to Dorn. Dorn was given basically the highest authority next to the Emperor. And of course, Malcador's secret project in the background. So yeah, I really hate a lot of my hatred for the Ultramarines is less in their own character. I hate a lot of their characters. So the other part of my like my personal hatred for them outside of the lore front, because a lot of it's Gilliman. Like Gilliman, I hate with a burning passion. The guy fucking betrayed his Dorn, stole the throne of the Imperium, and even though Dorn wasn't going to fight him on that front, he had to further be a dickbag and instigate the Codex, and then threaten a second civil war. Immediately after the first one just ended, he literally pulled Dorn back from the Scouring. For those who don't know, the Scouring is what the Imperium did after Horus was defeated and eliminated by the Emperor. The Scouring was when they hunted down and chased off every single traitor legion. And they hunted them. They hounded them all the way to the Eye of Terra and shredded them. And by all accounts, they could have done even more. They could have fucked them up permanently. But Dorn and several other Primarchs were ordered back to Terra by Gilliman, who, while they were gone, wrote up the Codex, gave himself a new title that the Emperor didn't give him. He gave himself one. And he plopped his fat ass on the throne of Terra, effectively, and then he made the High Lords of Terra, the true highest authority in the Imperium, to be fair. He made them back him and his Codex Astartes, and then forced it upon every single existing legion and forced them to split up into chapters. And when Dorn protested, he threatened civil war. He threatened civil war again. The Horus Heresy had just fucking ended, for context. Like, this wasn't 100 years after. This wasn't 1,000 years after. It had just fucking ended. And it might have been like a year or two, but that's like a blink in the eye in the galaxy, especially for the Primarchs. So Dorn had his throne stolen, his authority undermined. He was then forced into accepting the Codex Astartes under threat of civil war and destroying the Imperium entirely if he didn't submit. It was all bullshit. So, like, I don't know. After that, yeah, Gilliman's a cunt. He's the most scumbag, and he's a traitor, as far as I'm concerned. For those actions, and also the fact that he and his ultra bitch boys were the last to arrive at the Siege of Terra. Now, granted, they had fair reasons why they couldn't get there for a long time, but Imperial Secundus was also a big reason he's a fucking traitor. Those who don't know what Imperial Secundus was Gilliman assumed that the Imperium had fallen and the Emperor was dead when the traitor legions were attacking Macragge and attacking the Ultramar system. So when Sanguinius arrived there, he tried to name Sanguinius the new Emperor and restart the Imperium in the Ultramar system. I fucking hate him for that. He didn't even, and granted, Ultramar, the system was surrounded by warp storms, so the attempts to like send out scouting parties to check failed. But he didn't really try that hard before he just assumed, okay, Emperor's dead, Imperium fell, now to restart over and I'm in charge. Well, I'm not in charge. Sanguinius is in charge. But I'm in the background as second in command. Like, and then when they found out that, no, the Imperium hadn't fallen, you dipshit. You're supposed to be the smart intellectual one, right? Then Sanguinius went in with his Blood Angels to help with the Siege of Terra. And the Ultramarines were the last to arrive. I fucking hate him. And that is all. There's so many other things that piss me off about Gilliman. But how he treated Dorn, honestly, I can look past Imperial Secundus because it was a chaotic time. It was the heresy. Lots of shit was happening, plus the warp storms and being attacked by the word bearers. There was so much there, to be fair, that left him with the understanding that, okay, the Imperium probably fell. But the fact that he didn't do his due diligence to confirm it when he's normally supposed to be the one who's known for crossing his T's and dotting his I's, he just assumed, okay. But I can look past Imperial Secundus. I can look past showing up late to Terra during the siege. Stealing the throne while Dorn is doing the scouring, writing up the codex, and then when Dorn is like, I don't want to fucking do that, we've already lost so much, I don't want to lose my sons. The Imperial Fist, I don't want them, my legion sundered, and our power diminished. And Gilliman was like, well, I'm telling you to. I'm your boss now. Says who? Me. That and the High Lords, but I bullied them into saying me. Well, fuck you. Okay. That throne was promised to me because I was named, the actual successor by the Emperor himself. But okay. Yeah, you're in charge. Whatever. No, you have to split up your legion though. No. Yes. No. Okay. We'll kill you. I'll fight you back. Yep. Okay, but that'll tear the Imperium apart. We're already completely shattered and sundered after what happened during the heresy. The Emperor is borderline fucking dead. And you're stealing power and now threatening me, the rightful ruler of the Imperium, mind you, with civil war if I don't comply to your fucking rulebook. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go think on this. Okay, while you do, I'm going to have to be fair, we don't know that Gilliman ordered this, but while Dorn returned to his flagship to meditate on what to do next, the flagship of the Imperial Fist got shot at. It didn't get shot at in regards of getting hit, but a warning shot was shot off their bow as a threat for them to submit. And I still believe Gilliman did order it, and it was his way of saying, I'm not joking, and I'm not hesitating. I will conduct a second civil war against you. I will destroy you if you don't submit to me. I'm the new authoritarian here. I am the Emperor. He didn't say that, but his actions said that. So Dorn put on the Pain Fist, meditated, and then was like, okay, fuck this. He took his whole legion to a trap, which he knew was a trap, known as the Iron Cage. That was created by the Iron Warriors. Dorn and Perturabo had like a legendary rivalry because one was a master of siegecraft, the other was a master of defense, and defensive fortification. They fucking hated each other with a burning passion. And the Iron Warriors were traitor. They created the Iron Cage, which was designed to specifically destroy the Imperial Fist, because the way everything, like the embattlements, the enforcements, the way it was designed was that defense masters like the Fists would be trapped in and wiped out if they tried to take it. Dorn knew it was like that, went into it on purpose, because he knew, even though he had to submit, because he didn't want the Imperium to be destroyed, because he's a better person than Guilliman, even though he went in with his full legion to a death trap and basically tried to kill his own legion. Now, we don't know for sure if he just wanted to weaken his legion to the point that even his sons wouldn't be able to say, no, we're not putting up with this. We will fight Guilliman and the Ultramarines over this shit. But I'm pretty sure, this is just my personal interpretation, and it's pretty contextually backed, but I'm pretty sure Dorn's intent was to kill everybody and to die with his sons in battle. Because the Iron Cage was, to Perturabo's credit, fucking brutal. That single thing nearly wiped out the Imperial Fists. Dorn nearly committed suicide with his whole legion rather than submit to the Codex. The Ultramarines saw them doing this. Guilliman saw him doing this, and Guilliman was like, fuck! This is a bad look! Because here's the thing. If Dorn had successfully suicided himself against the Iron Cage, that would have looked horrible. Not only to the likes of Russ, who would have been like, okay, that is badass. He went out. Like, he did that rather than submit to your fucking rulebook. I'm not going to obey a rulebook either. But fuck, you're a bastard. Guilliman knew how bad it would look for the Imperial Fist to commit suicide rather than submit to his rulebook. He knew that the rest of the Imperium would be like, holy fuck. If that's how bad it is, fuck this guy, and that would still tear the Imperium apart, because no one would respect Guilliman's rule if a whole Primarch and his legion would rather die than submit to it. That alone would have bred a shit ton of resentment towards the Ultramarines and Guilliman, and he couldn't afford how bad that would look politically. So, Guilliman wrapped all of his fucking Ultramarines up, teared ass into the Iron Cage to save the Imperial Fist from getting wiped out. Basically, he forced Dorn to live, and forced the remainder of his legion to live. And then after that, Dorn begrudgingly submitted to the Codex, adopted it into his own chapter, and then sundered his legion. I fucking hate the Ultramarines. And admittedly, 90% of that hatred comes from a hatred of Guilliman, specifically. I fucking hate that guy. Can you imagine how Korax, Russ, and Khan would react to Guilliman, what Guilliman did there? Yeah, I mean, I can, yes. Very much so. Oh, stretch him back. But anyway. Oh, by the way, there are going to be Ultramarine fanboys who are going to say, like, oh, well, that didn't happen, or it didn't happen like that. Yes, it did. It did. This is backed in the lore. This is old lore, but it's still there. This happened. What does Iron Cage look like? I'm not sure, visually speaking. I know it's like it's a reinforced position. Like, the idea of the cage, right, is it's a set of, it looks or appears to the amateur like a defensive fortress, but it's designed in a way to be contradictory to just a defensive position. It's mainly designed as literally like you go in to try and break the defenses, but then you're like plowed in on all sides and like attack. It's imagine a defensive structure built not to be a defensive structure, but rather more of an offensive one. I can't think of off the top of my head what the actual visual of it is. But that was the general idea. Perturabo is good at one thing, building things that get people killed, especially his own sons. Yes, exactly. But fucking Iron Warriors. Yeah, I don't like the Iron Warriors. I like them more than the Ultramarines, though. I like the actual Iron Warriors. I hate Perturabo as well. But I don't hate him anywhere near as much as I hate Gilliman. Massive ring fortress filled with traps and automated guns. Effectively, yeah. It's designed to be like the antithesis of someone like Dorn in the Imperial Fists. That's why Dorn initially avoided the damn thing, because he knew it was, to Perturabo's credit, beyond what he could handle. Anyway, sorry for that rant.
Brother, we cannot afford another episode like that.
The apothecaries may not have time for a thorough diagnostic, but they've given me their sanction to do so. Now,
Why don't I like Perturabo? He's a man, baby.
take time.
If Gilliman turns out to be a traitor, will it have been great writing? It would have been. And he was a traitor, just not Chaos Traitor. He was a traitor because of what he did with Imperial Secundus. And also stealing the throne from Dorne. You know, both of those I would consider fairly treasonous actions.
Are below peak, but well within the tolerances for combat. I can find no explanation for the symptoms you experienced.
Then I have duties to attend to.
You have the blessings of the Omnisire.
One question.
Rant number 55.
What do you know about
Keep track of
Archmagos
them.
Nozic's research?
Such knowledge would only grace the peaks of Olympus Mons. I am certainly not privy to the subject of his activities. I only pray there remain records of his discoveries.
I proceed to launch. Alright. Oh, by the way, if you don't like how I ranted just now, if you guys want a good source of lore on what everything I just referenced, go to Voldemort's channel. It's just Bald or Mort. He has 3-part series on Dorne and the Imperial Fists. I believe it's called The Longest Second, is like the 3-parter. And he does a great job of explaining everything I just did as well. So, if you don't want to just take my word for it, that's a great place to go as well for that particular story. And Voldemort is considered like the pinnacle of 40k lore delivery at this point.
So your efficiency levels are below optimal. Explain.
I apologize to say, but I think that rant took up the rest of my time. Yeah, I think I'm out of time. Yeah, because I gotta head out to work soon. Fuck. I have to head to work early today as well, which sucks. Tomorrow I'm hoping to stream at the same time. But anyway, real quick though, today went way better than yesterday. Reinstalling the game on the SSD clearly made a massive difference. Still lags a little bit when those like big hordes come in, but nowhere near as bad as it was. So yeah, I can play the game now fairly smoothly. I'm gonna see if I can clean out more space for my C drive, but it's gonna be hard to do that because I've already gotten rid of all the big things. Outside of performance being way better, the story, I'm interested in where it's going from here. I really like what they're doing. The overall story is very, very good so far. The aesthetic is very lore accurate, and so is some of like the interactions between the Marines. Again, there's that glaring issue with the Death Watch and all that, but that aside, it's really solid so far. So yeah, if I had to revise my score from yesterday, which was 78 out of 10, it's not out of 10, out of 100, I do 88 out of 100. Yeah. So we're at 88 out of 100. I feel confident with that number. It might go even higher, assuming like the rest of the story unfolds in a very satisfying way. At this point, I'm probably going to give up on them addressing the Death Watch inquisitorial issue. So I'm mostly just going to look forward to like the rest of it. Baltimore has the best voice. He really does. Like my lore videos will never be as good as his because simply speaking, they're just yeah. damn. Like Voldemort is the pinnacle of 40k lore delivery for sure, if not from like the actual quality. But yeah, check out The Longest Second. That'll give you some good context for Dorne and everything I just ranted about. It's not every detail I just went over, but it is a good chunk of it. That's the side of that. I'm thinking. No, I think we're good outside of that. Yeah, I'll stream again tomorrow. I don't know how far we are in the campaign thus far. I'd say we're probably, given I rant a lot, let's say I'm a fifth the way through. We've only done like 2. We've only done like 2 or 3 missions, or 4 now. I think 4. So 4 missions in. I don't know how many the campaign as a whole. I'm excited to see where it goes. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like before you guys head out. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Love y'all, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.